made it to mile 0 of the Alaskan Highway.
There's the sign.
Ray's been super
Jason
excited.
thinks this sign doesn't matter, but it does matter. Everyone takes pictures in front of this sign.
I guess I'm not saying that the sign doesn't matter. I'm saying that the sign is here to denote the importance of mile 0, but like, you know, like it's a cool sign.
Okay, you won't get excited about this sign, but you announce the Continental Divide signs every time we pass them.
It's important.
Nobody cares about the Continental Divide, but we made it. Sorry to those people who do care about the Continental Divide.
Well, mile 1, mile 2.
Do we know where we're stopping tonight?
We don't. Somewhere between here and Alaska, though. I know for sure.
Somewhere between here and Alaska.
Yeah.
All right, so we've set the odometer to 0, and we took a peek at a couple different apps to decide where we wanted to go tonight, and referenced now our milepost book. Well, we actually just crossed a time zone, so it's not 6, it's 5. But we've decided we only want to go about 2 more hours, so we are hoping to make it to... Where did it go? Pink Mountain. There we go. Pink Mountain. My goodness. So, there you go. 140 miles. So...
Why don't you explain what the milepost is?
You explain what the milepost is.
Perfect. So the milepost is kind of like your guide to Alaska. They update it every year, but they don't pave new roads every year. So you can get a slightly older edition if you want. Like we did. I tried to buy the newest edition and they got delayed, so I just bought the 2022 edition. What it does is it lays out mile per mile all the different routes that you can take, or at least the most popular routes. And once you get, further north, it really narrows it down to the amount of highways you can take. And it lays out mile per mile things to do and see in the major cities, and like fuel stops and stuff like that. They do kind of skew a little bit sometimes, I've noticed, to some of their advertisers get a little bit more mentions, but they still do have lots of campgrounds. So if you're just looking for campgrounds along the path and you don't have, I have like 15 different apps to look at campgrounds, the milepost is amazing for that, trying to find campgrounds or hotels or anything like that. So we got it mostly as, just to cross-reference it. Sometimes you don't have data, and I like to see where gas stations are and all of that. Yeah, it's a great book so far, and it comes with a big paper map of Alaska and pretty much from the US up, so you get a nice map of your journey. Yeah, we'll see how useful it actually is now that we're gonna start using it more.
It helped you with your planning so far, though.
Yeah, it was one of those things where like we've had lots of friends go to Alaska, made lots of YouTube content, but like it's never really interested in me because I had no like way to grasp it at all. Like It's kind of like talking about a different country essentially. Like you're like, oh yeah, you gotta take Dawson's Creek and Fort Nelson and all that, and I have no frame of reference. And so when I really started to sit down and start planning, looking at the map and then reading through the route and actually seeing like what is the Alaskan Highway. I've heard about it 100 times, but like what actually is it and where does it go and why do you care about it? And it's like, oh, it's because it's like the main road to get to Alaska up through the wilderness, or the Yukon, I guess. Yeah, it really helped me kind of visualize where we were going to go and what we were going to do. A lot better than Google Maps even could. So like once I kind of figured out where we wanted to go, then I can input stuff into Google Maps or RV Trip Wizard and kind of plan our trip. But we're still very in flux, and so I just did all that just to kind of understand.
Get the general sense.
Yeah, I haven't like plotted out every campground we're gonna stay at in RV Trip Wizard because we're kind of winging it.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot less stressful in the truck camper. Let me tell you, we've said it 1,000 times already.
I know.
We're winging it in terms of like how far we want to drive and like on different days and how long we want to stay places because.
Yeah, like, we've woken up so many mornings and not known like where we're staying that night because the day is gonna kind of make it for us, you know, like what do we have to do today? Where are we leaving early? Are we leaving late? How far do we want to go? Like how do we feel? Like it's really nice to just kind of play it by ear.
Yeah, and like for me, I kind of had like we had to book some reservations, but luckily we had nothing on the books till July. But then I worked backwards from our reservations and kind of came up with like estimated times we would be places, but like, you know, I think I had us spending the night in Dawson City, but it was only 150 kilometers from the previous stop. So I was like, all right, I know we need to see that, so we need to stop there, but I was like, I don't think we're going to spend the night. I don't think Dawson's Creek has anything else that we're interested in, but I don't know yet. And so it's kind of like I've set aside days to keep us moving, like we know when we have to go, but it's all in flux. It's kind of hard to explain, but you'll see.
Alright, well check out this beautiful free camping. Bless you.
Just a little pollen in the air.
Yeah, there's a lot of cottonwood flying around. Anyway, check out this beautiful free camping spot. We have one neighbor here, and then like there's a whole other loop that's not on the water that we hear people at. We didn't even drive by, we just saw this second spot by the water and grabbed it. But we are definitely already feeling those rough roads because everything inside fell. And also, I'll put the name of this like free camping area, but I want to warn you that, you know, it's only like a 3-minute drive down an unpaved road, but the reviews did say don't go if it's muddy or if it's rained because it'll be muddy and you'll get stuck. So we made sure it hadn't rained because we're not gonna make that mistake twice. But besides the unpaved road, it's getting a little bumpy for sure, and I know we're not even close to the worst parts, but I already brought out the slide, but all our clean laundry is now on the ground. And granted, like, it was already messy. We threw everything in here. Oh, we bought a drill because we forgot to bring one, of course, so we can actually drill this closed and stop doing this stupid little loophole we found where we hold down the skylight with the dehumidifier. So anyway, yeah, I think it's about time to put away the clothes, do a little cleaning that I didn't get to do earlier, and have a beer and enjoy this beautiful campground. Tired of playing Guess That Smell in your RV? We certainly were, and that's why we created Tank Tune-Up. We created this holding tank treatment with a dual action formula that not only breaks down waste, but eliminates odors. Our formula doesn't have fillers or artificial fragrances that honestly sometimes make the odors worse. Tank Tune-Up is so easy to use, just simply scoop it, rinse it, and forget it. Whether you're hitting the road for a weekend getaway or living the full-time RV lifestyle, Tank Tune-Up makes odors a thing of the past. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get yours today. And if you want to learn more about our product, check out our full video on it.
Alright, so we woke up to the sound of rain. So, remember when we said yesterday that it said not to drive on the road in the rain? So it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but we are practicing better safe than sorry. And we literally woke up and we're like, looked outside and it still looks pretty dry.
The dirt's, like still pretty dry. It's like the lightest sprinkle ever. But then like we watched the app, like the weather app, go from 3% chance of rain to like 71% chance of rain.
Yeah.
So. And
we just don't want to be stuck out here. So we're packing up. We're gonna just take the little road up, get back to the Alcan, and then we'll make coffee up from there. But I did look over here on like our other tire. Just yesterday I noticed this, and as you can see, it's already just fully impacted with mud just from this little section that I had to turn around in that is still wet from the rain. So yeah, this looks like, you know, the same kind of clay mud that we experienced in South Dakota.
I know, which makes you think though, like, is it stupid to leave right now?
No.
When it's still wet? Because that's the same mistake we made in South Dakota.
Well, no, in South Dakota, we made the mistake of driving on it even though it had just rained a little. But like, yeah, you can definitely see like the differences between like mud where it's like still grassy and like muddy, and the actual pavement. Like I can still see raindrops on this.
And this place, Jason was saying, actually just received a ton of rain a few days ago. So yeah, that's like what these big mud piles are from. It's not like these little sprinkles, like they just got dumped on days ago. So that's what the mud's from.
Yeah, and I know that because they put out the wildfires that we drove past.
Yeah.
Like
and I mean, this boat is launching, so like they just drove down here, and like their tires don't look absolutely coated. So
no. Yeah, we'll be fine.
I think we're good. We don't want to play this game like at all.
What'd you say to me yesterday? This is what trauma looks like. Yeah.
I can't remember what
it was
we
something
were
else,
about.
But she's like, that's what trauma is like.
So that's a trauma response.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some things that get you on the road.
All right, so we're pretty much done. We're just gonna pack up and head out. Back on the Alcan.
Back on paved roads.
Yeah. It wasn't that bad, or it wasn't bad at all. But yeah, we are practicing better safe than sorry, and no cell service. Like we have Starlink, which is great and makes you feel a lot more comfortable. But still, we would have to then set up Starlink and then call out. We don't have a winch, which is one of those things that like would make you feel a lot better in a situation like that. I do have like all extra tow straps and like a tow hook for the front, for the back, and like, you know, but if you have nothing to hook the tow strips onto,
in reality, like we would have been totally fine even if we did get stuck. Like there was a lot of traffic for the boat ramp and stuff, so it's like someone would have helped us. It's just like, you know, certain things within the RVing world, like if you venture off and do stuff like this, you risk, like, you know, having issues, and when you have those issues, they imprint on you forever.
We're medium adventurers. We like to adventure, but also not inconvenience ourselves. We're not the kind of people who will like go rock climbing in Moab vertically in our own personal Jeep and like you know risk.
Yeah, we're not hardcore.
Yeah, we're soft adventurers.
Soft
adventure.
adventure.
Yeah, I like to adventure, but not inconvenience myself. Anyway, back on the road, so we'll find a spot somewhere up here, pull over, and we'll make ourselves some coffee and breakfast, because we literally just woke up and it was raining, and we're like, oh, this is the one thing we were...
not wanting.
Yeah, dreading, so...
Yep, well that's okay, at least it got us on the road early.
Yeah, there you go, now we can put in some miles.
We continued our journey up the Alcan and couldn't believe how beautiful the drive was. We hunted down some hot springs and stayed a few nights, but you'll have to tune in next week to see that adventure. Don't forget to subscribe.